Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Settle Down. I hope everyone is doing okay. Just trying to get by one day at a time, and that's all you can do. I just want to jump right into it. A summer storm, ripped through the town today. And let me just say, that's just one thing that happened today. We have a blow up water slide at work, and it blew away. And what can you do about that, to be honest? Let me just say, I feel like I always talk about the weather. Why do I talk about the weather? But it's because I want to be outside. I want to be outside, but I can't because it's either going to be like 100 degrees out or it's going to be monsooning. And, I really wish there was an in between, sunny 75. It's not happening around here, but it's okay. Yeah, anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable today in this episode. And this is like therapy for me, truly. And it's really nice. It's like talking to someone. And it's almost like journaling, but it's video diary esque. I don't know. But I want to get a little vulnerable today because I just feel like I need to. But some tidbits of the week. I actually posted my last episode on the 4th of July, therefore I was busy. And I went to go see some old friends. They got a house. Congratulations. And I got to see some people from my old high school that I haven't seen in over a decade, which is crazy to say, but here we are saying it. It was nice. Some of them are married, some of them are not. And either way, it was really good to catch up with them and to know that, I can reconnect with some people from my past and it be a good time. And yeah, wasn't weird at all. I of course think it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be weird, we're all in different phases of our life. It was actually beautiful interactions because it was so nice to see where we're all at compared to each other. But it was a really fun 4th of July. I appreciate and cherish those conversations and catching up with people. I'm a very sentimental person, so those conversations really did, I don't know, I really enjoyed them, talking to people from my high school. So that was really nice. Also, this was really exciting. I got asked to paint a wall for one of my friends who is having a baby very soon. I got to paint the wall of her nursery. In total, it took me 14 hours to do. I'll put a picture up somewhere. It was a flower wall mural type of thing. I had so much fun doing it. It was like just overall therapeutic to do. And I got to chat with my friend a little bit. We got a little closer and, we laughed, we listened to music, and yeah, I just had overall a great experience doing this. But yeah, it was 14 hours. I painted this wall split in between 2 days. Really proud of myself, to be honest. I obviously want it to look nice. I feel like I am a perfectionist, but I think this experience really, it helped me work on my perfectionism a little bit, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and they really enjoyed it, so that makes me really happy, and I can't wait for the baby to come. So yeah, that was really fun. Jumping back into the summer storms that have been happening. I was on my way home from work one night and it was like thunderstorming. This is just a really scary experience and I just really need to let it out. I was driving and it's like literally monsooning and I just see a figure. Okay. Sometimes I see I'm not crazy. Sometimes I see figures and I think they're people and then we get closer and it's a mailbox. So I thought that was one of these moments, but no, it was an actual girl in the middle of this monsoon summer storm at night. It's lightning like crazy. And it's this girl walking kind of weird on the side of the road and she had black hair, long black hair, like the horror movies. And I was just like, do I need to pull over and help this girl? But also I'm scared, is she real or am I imagining this? Like I really didn't know. So I kept on driving because no, I'm not pulling, like what was that? Literally what was that? So yeah, that also happened to me. So no, but she was a real girl. I'm not like hallucinating, or maybe I could be. Who really knows, honestly? I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, anywho, I want to get back into what I'm actually going to be speaking about. In this episode, I do want to get vulnerable because I feel like my emotions have really been overtaking me lately and I just need to get them out. I need to quit playing around and acting like everything's all sunshine and rainbows in my life, because it's really not. I think that talking about it is very important. And everything that I talk to you guys about and preach about, I'm also taking home with me, and I'm trying to practice what I preach. So that is kind of the whole point of this. But yeah, let's get vulnerable. My job requires me to be really attentive and happy, put a smile on my face, make sure everyone around me is comfortable, which I'm very used to doing in my life. I'm very good at being the one to uplift others and come to work with a positive attitude. I usually leave my crap at home, whatever I'm dealing with at home, come to work with a positive attitude. And today I just really felt like I didn't. I kind of took it with me a little bit, and it's a little tough because people can tell, like coworkers and stuff can tell that my aura is a little bit off. And I'm not perfect. Perfectionism, here we go, back to that. I try my best to put on this happy face and happy persona. And although it does lift other people up around me, it can kind of get a little bit exhausting. Just like everyone's social battery runs out, mine does too, but so does my energy to please, please, please. Sometimes I carry what I feel to work with me. And I'm just been feeling sad a little bit lately, and maybe more like I feel alone sometimes, not physically alone because I do have people around me, but more like alone in the emotions that I feel. I feel alone that, like, oh my gosh, no one's ever going to feel the way that I truly feel right now about myself, about my life, because my life is completely different than everyone else's. My experiences and my emotions are completely different from other people. That's what I feel alone in. Like, I feel alone that, like, people are never going to truly understand what's going on inside of my brain. Not that it even wouldn't matter if they did, because it wouldn't change the way that I feel if they truly understood. Um, I don't know. See, talking out loud is answering my own questions. Like, it doesn't matter if people, so you shouldn't feel this. This is getting a little confusing what I'm speaking about. I'm confusing myself. But I feel like I've always subconsciously hid how I truly feel because I never want anyone to know how I feel. I don't want to put that on anyone. Not saying that like my emotions are a burden, because like my emotions are my emotions and everyone has them, but I kind of subconsciously hide them because I don't want anyone to be in my shoes, I guess. I handle most things alone. I feel like during childhood, like whenever I had extreme upsetting feelings, I was just put behind a closed door, go to your room type of situation. And I never got to truly like regulate my emotions with people or be talked to or talked through my emotions. So ever since I was a child, I was dealing and handling my emotions alone. And if you've ever experienced that, like if you ever felt very extreme, upsetting emotions, and no one would really listen to you, and they would just say, go to your room, and you would just have to cry it out or think it out, just go crazy and spiral in your head. If that's how you had to emotionally regulate, I definitely relate to you. So I feel like that kind of bled into my adulthood a little bit, like to where I handle my emotions alone. I'm not allowed to show my emotions in front of people, which makes it hard to be vulnerable. I think as I grew up, it's definitely easier for me to open up to people. If I trust you and stuff, I'll be able to show my emotions to you. But I feel like the way I regulate my emotions is always going to be alone. My emotions do not come out until I am alone. And then it snowballs and it's like, I'm alone. No one knows how I feel. You know what I mean? So it's just like this snowball effect of like of how you regulated your emotions when you were a child compared to like into adulthood. Like, okay, that's how I had to deal with my emotions when I was little, so now I'm dealing with my emotions alone. You know what I mean? Your nervous system does not know the difference between your childhood and your adulthood unless you teach it. And like I said, over the years, I have taught myself to be able to open up to other people. And I know that's never going to solve any of your problems, but it does take a little bit of weight off your shoulders and not having to deal with it alone and do this whole mental spiral thing. So your nervous system has to be taught, hey, you don't have to regulate your emotions alone all the time. If you're feeling alone, you don't have to feel, you have to teach yourself. because your nervous system quite literally doesn't know the difference whether you're an adult or a child. I also just feel like not a sense of pressure because I do it to myself, but I feel like it's a little bit of a struggle to be someone that people go to, but I also cry myself to sleep at night sometimes. It's just about my emotions being too loud. And the way that I used to deal with that was drink and suppress it. Okay? I became an alcoholic because I it was too loud. And so I just drank it away, and that ended up being quite literally the worst way possible to deal with your emotions in general, because alcohol was not created to be this crutch, to be a self-medication type of thing. It definitely was not created for that. Humans were created to feel, to experience, to connect with other humans. We were created to feel. And I was not allowing myself to do that. I ran from my emotions, and I drank and suppressed my emotions for years. And now I don't have that crutch anymore. I can't suppress I have to feel it all the way through. And yeah, it really only comes out when I'm alone. So that's kind of like what I mean by I'm being vulnerable right now. Yes, I cry myself to sleep. Who doesn't? Honestly, I feel like there are people out there that cry themselves to sleep. I'm already like, this is my own YouTube channel, and I'm already perceiving myself in some type of way. Why am I doing that? You know what I mean? See, I'm trying to practice what I preach here. But anyways, when I start to feel this way, my emotions get too loud and I don't process them. I just like kind of sleep it off, and I wake up the next day. I just find myself like disassociating in social environments. Like I literally just feel like I'm not all the way there, or like I black out or something, because our minds feel like it's safer to disassociate rather than be in the present. Like my nervous system is like, oh, it's safer to just disassociate. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like I'm really struggling to be in the present, especially when my emotions are so all over the place and so high, and all these situations being like thrown at me, and like everything I put on my plate. It's too loud sometimes. I can't lie. And I know that other people are going to relate. So this is a learning experience for all of us. And it all stems from how you regulate your emotions. And honestly, if you look back, it's good to look back when you were a child, because your nervous system doesn't know the difference. Okay, how did you regulate your emotions as a child? And did it bleed into adulthood? And what can you do to switch things around and whatever? But my main thing that I wanted to talk about today was like, how can we feel more present? How can we feel like we're actually living in the moment? I feel like I've spent most of my life surviving my emotions rather than just experiencing life in the present, because our minds replay yesterday and rehearse tomorrow. How do we find that middle ground? How do we live in the present? And I'm also trying to learn that. I definitely preach about journaling on every platform. Journaling is an amazing way to get all of these emotions out on paper. It just feels like you're literally doing that. I preach journal all the time, reaching out to people. Like, ask yourself, if your friend or someone you love was hurting really bad, wouldn't you want them to tell you? Then why do we think that we are the exception? You know what I mean? If you're hurting, talk about it. We don't have to wait until we are fully healed in order to be present. We just have to stop abandoning ourselves when life gets hard. So, when life feels this way, when your emotions feel too loud, take care of yourself a little extra. Ask yourself what you need in that moment. Start asking yourself what your feelings are trying to protect you from. Anxiety prepares you. Sadness reminds you of something that mattered. Anger tells you that a boundary was crossed. You just kind of have to realize how you feel in the moment, and then break it down and figure out what your feelings and your emotions are trying to tell you, just to at least gain a little bit of clarity on your own feelings. Like, do you need to rest? Do you need to take a nap? Do you need to cry? Do you need to call a friend? You know what I mean? Just give yourself a little extra when you're feeling like things are a little bit too loud in your head. When you're feeling not as present in the moment, you can do something that's called notice and return. Notice what you're thinking about. Are you thinking too much about what you have to do at work tomorrow? Well, notice that you're thinking about that, but then return into the present moment, and what are you doing right now in that moment? You can reconnect with your body, be where your feet are. You can go work out, go for a walk, go catch up with an old friend on FaceTime that you haven't talked to in a while. Because honestly, after that 4th of July party, when I haven't seen these people in over a decade, I wouldn't think, if it wasn't for that party, I would have never like spoken to them. But we were talking for a while about old memories and all of these things. You would seriously be surprised how helpful and cool it would be reconnecting with somebody from your past. It would be so interesting. You just got to gain the courage to do it, but you'd be really surprised. So catch up with an old friend, challenge yourself, boost your spirits, listen to your favorite music. If you're feeling down. I don't know. It's like I feel like an older sister giving advice, being like, okay, here's how you can just listen to your favorite song. It really is like that minuscule, like it's that cliche, to be completely honest with you. It kind of sounds stupid, but I feel like you should, if you're feeling like your feelings are too loud, instead of running to your crutch or overusing a substance, that's not going to help. These things genuinely will help. As cringy and cliche as it sounds, it actually does help. It takes you and puts you in the moment, and it's not going to distract you. If anything, it'll just lift your spirits a little bit, because sometimes, yes, our emotions can be valid most of the time, and they can be too loud. And these are emotions we do need to feel through. But a lot of the times, we are spiraling, we are over analyzing, it's over the top. You've spiraled out of control. And that's what we're trying to avoid by doing these things. I'll do my makeup and look cute. I'll get out of bed, and because I have to, I can't just sit in bed and dwell. I will spiral, and it's not pretty, okay? But I'll get up, I'll do my makeup. And I'll lip sync to a song to remind me who the I am. You know what I mean? I bring myself back down to earth, okay? I will go for a walk. I don't care. I will go for a drive. I will pull myself out of the future, out of the present, put myself in this moment right now. The most important thing also is that I noticed that a lot of people are multitasking way too much. Like, some people cannot eat food without watching something, or walking but on a work phone call. You know what I mean? Just things like that. Maybe just not multitasking as much. You don't need to always get everything done all at once. Like, eat while you're eating, walk while you're walking, listen while you're listening. You know what I mean? Just one thing at a time. I feel like that would really that helps me. Like, sometimes I literally just like eat. Most of the time I eat in the dining room table, okay, looking out the window, and I'm just eating. And I'm there, and I'm in the moment, and I'm just eating, and I'm not overstimulating my brain. Especially in the morning when I'm having breakfast, I don't overstimulate my brain, because that just gives myself all these short boosts of dopamine, leads to me feeling drained already, and I just started my day. This whole purpose of this whole video is just feeling too much, your emotions are too loud, feeling alone in your emotions, and then that leading to disassociation and feeling like you're blacking out. Being in the present means remembering that your life is happening right now, and you have to stop waiting for your emotion to just be gone before you can experience your life. You only get this moment one time, and you don't want to wish your life away, wishing this was better, wishing this was better. What can you do right now? Life is short. I'm sure we've learned that on many occasions, maybe experiences that we've had. Life is too short. And I feel like it's all the more important right now to live in the moment, not so much in the future and not too much in the past. We're creating our own story, and I talk about that all the time. We're creating our own story. Laugh as hard as you can, cry as hard as you can, fall in love, fall out of love, break up, get pissed off, go out and party, stay home, do a puzzle. I don't know, but create your own story. Everything happens for a reason. And I truly believe that every decision that I have made in my life has led me to this point right now, talking to my phone, calling it my creative outlet, which it is. And I couldn't be happier doing this. I couldn't be happier allowing myself this comfort and this space to be vulnerable and to put this out there and to hopefully help somebody else. And I currently struggling with being in the present, but even just speaking about it out loud, noticing how I felt today and knowing, hey, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to speak about this because it is helping me, even just speaking about it, being like, yes, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what our main focus is going to be. I hope that it helps you guys also, because I'm also trying to implement these things in my life as I'm talking to you about it. It's like we're kind of on this little journey together. And I don't care how many people watch this. I don't care how many people don't watch this. Knowing that I have the emotional maturity and the emotional awareness that I have now makes me proud to do this. It makes me proud to sit here and do this despite how I'm feeling. Despite how sad I was today, I still got my ass up and in front of this camera, and I'm filming this to hopefully help people and to help myself and to have an outlet to get my emotions and feelings out there. This right here is one of the things that I do to help myself every single day. This is a challenge that I set for myself, posting once a week. And so far I've done that. I get up despite how I feel. That's discipline. And I think that that in itself just says enough. And I really hope that you guys took something from this video, because I'm getting I'm literally getting hot because of how passionate I am about this. Like, things are looking up in life, and some days it may seem like things are not looking up. But I am, gravitating towards things and people that make me happy, and that's all I can do, and taking it one day at a time and doing these little things and implementing these little things throughout my day in order to create the best present feeling that I can. We only live this moment one time, and that's what matters the most. And yeah, I just wanted to get vulnerable with you guys and tell you guys how I'm feeling, telling you guys that my emotions get loud also, and that even if you're the funny friend, whatever, you're allowed to be sad and you're valid, and just look inward and give yourself what you need. Take care of yourself. But anyways, yeah, that's enough of all of that. I didn't mean to get too serious on you guys, but it's important to be vulnerable. Go talk to someone about how you're feeling. Don't hold it in. All right, I'm done. Seriously, I'm done. Okay, I'm done now. I hope that everyone has an amazing week and try to implement some of those things in your life this week. I will see you guys next week.